Hello, my name is Michael Quinn and welcome back to another episode of Challenge Your Life. Do you feel unhappy in your life at the moment? Perhaps you find it a bit boring, or you feel that work is really draining you. Maybe you feel a sadness that you just can't shake and you want to change things in your life. It sounds like you need a challenge, and not just a challenge, but a life challenge. So in this episode, I'm going to be talking about what a life challenge is, why you might need it, how you go about doing it, how you set it up, researching it, assessing stuff at the end, and possibly some of the pitfalls that you may experience. So stay tuned. So last year, I found myself in a pretty crappy place. I was really down on myself and I just felt like anything I tried to do just wasn't working and I couldn't shake the bad feelings that I had. I spent day after day getting worse and worse until finally I decided to take on a challenge. Now my challenge involved me climbing mountains, a number of mountains, 8 mountains to be precise, which I'm still in the process of doing at the moment. But I've found from those steps that my challenge has helped me immeasurably. Let's start with the why. Why should you set yourself a life challenge? So for me initially, the challenge helped me focus my mind. From focusing my mind, I was able to start doing things, start doing a process for an end game, but enjoying the process at the same time. This really helped reduce any sort of sadness or any sort of mental health issues that I might have been suffering from. Because this is your challenge, you can really take ownership of it and it feels like it's yours. You're going through this process. You're even developing yourself. An unseen aspect of this challenge for me has been I've learned how to edit, I've learned how to make film, I've learned all different techniques, and it's a constant learning process. And because I'm learning, developing myself, still educating myself, there's a real sense of enjoyment and fulfillment within that. It's also boosted my confidence because I feel much better in that I'm trying to achieve something. All in all, a life challenge is a real rounded way for you to get back ownership of your life. Okay, so you've decided you want to challenge yourself. Where to begin? A wonderful thing about a challenge like this is that it's tailored to you. So what are you passionate about? Try and find one of your passions and explore how you might achieve something at the end of a challenge from that. I had a passion for the mountains, so I decided a mountain challenge. But there was also mountains that I had not completed, so therefore I set up the challenge for myself. But you can pick any sort of passion that you wish, whether it be art, it could be singing, it could be dancing, it literally could be anything. Another one could be anything that you're interested in. Try and find your interest. Try and find something that you've not done within your interests and pick your challenge from that. It could literally be anything. This challenge could be a great opportunity for you to try something totally different. Something that in your wildest dreams you might never have thought of. With that little spark of interest, use it, blow it up and develop it. Set your challenge and go with it. But it could also be something that you want to improve about yourself. Let's say you want to get healthier. Let's say you want to get fitter. Then set yourself a fitness challenge. Set yourself a health challenge. Maybe you want to cut down your alcohol. Maybe you want to stop drinking. Maybe you want to stop smoking. Use a challenge to help you. Whatever you decide to do, try and weigh up the positive impacts that it'll have on your life. If it's going to have a very, very positive impact in your life, brilliant. Go for it. Don't be afraid. Now that you have your goals, what do you want to achieve from this challenge? Your goals and what you want to achieve from this challenge is totally up to you. Perhaps you enjoy poetry and want to really work on writing down poems more regularly. You could push yourself to a 50-day challenge. The main thing about this challenge is to get you out of your comfort zone, because that is where you're going to be really challenged. You've decided what you want to do and you know what you want to achieve at the end of it. Now is a really important part of research. I cannot stress to you how important this part of setting up your challenge is. For my challenge, I had to do tons of research. I had to look at mountain safety. I had to look how to edit. I had to teach myself so many different skills and so many different techniques. But I learned so much from it, and I have felt a massive sense of fulfillment in the development of myself. And that's the way you've got to look at it. You can't look at research being this boring thing that you have to do, or this boring thing that you must do. You've really got to see it for what it is. You educating yourself in something you are interested in to improve your life. Okay, but what do you research? Well, that all depends on what exactly your challenge is. There may be so many other people that have done the same thing you're doing, or something similar. Look to see what they've done. They might have done it in a number of different ways. Check all those different ways out. Find out what's best for you. A really important one that you should look up are the possible pitfalls. What sort of troubles are you going to encounter? Overcoming these obstacles could be huge in you succeeding in your challenge. You've done all the background work, it's all done. Now it's time to put it all into practice. Let's say your challenge is learning another language. Okay, you've done all the research, you've tried to do as much grammar as possible. You are not going to be able to speak a language until you get out there and meet other people that are speaking that language, make loads of mistakes and try and speak to them. You know, if you want to run a marathon, you have to take that step by step. You have to get fitter and fitter and fitter, and you have to do it. You have to get out there and do it. Listen, I'm not saying doing it is going to be easy. But that's what a challenge is about. It's not about being easy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There will be times that you will think, why am I doing this? But if you have the will, if you just have that bit extra to keep going, keep doing it, I believe that you can do it. You'll have great results at the end. There's been many times myself when I've thought about giving up, but I just keep plugging along. It hasn't been easy for me either, so please don't think that it has, because I have struggled at certain points. However, I'm still going, I'm still talking to you right now, so please, have the will, use it, and be strong. You've just come to the end of your challenge, and whether it's success or fail, what do you do now? Move on to another challenge? Definitely not. There's one thing that you must do at the end of every challenge that you take. That is, of course, assessing at the end. Whether you've succeeded or whether you've failed, it is so important to assess at the end. Let's just say for example that you've failed. Okay, well, make that failure and turn it into a success. How? By learning something. Once you've learned something about this challenge, you have developed yourself. Don't just write yourself off. Don't write this challenge off. You know, the very fact that you have put yourself on the line is a massive thing. Do not throw that away. What you need to do is you need to look at the overall picture. What did you do well? What did you not do so well? If you're going to take the challenge again or something similar, incorporate what you've learned into the next one. Of course, while you're doing this, you've got to reflect honestly. For example, let's say that it was a success. You can't then go and say that you didn't exactly do everything perfectly, because I guarantee you made mistakes. Yes, it was a success, but there was things that you messed up on a tiny bit. Use those things that happened to push yourself and better yourself for the next challenge. Okay, so you failed. Even better chance for learning. Just before I come to the end of this video, tell me, what is your challenge going to be? Leave your answer in the comments below. Last but by no means least, the pitfalls. So let's begin with the comfort zone. You need to push yourself past this place. There is very little that you are going to achieve in your comfort zone. And for that fact, you will not find fulfillment, you will not find happiness in this place. Okay, you may be safe, but you are missing out on so much of your own potential by staying in that place. You don't realize how much of a prison your comfort zone is. Another problem, of course, is negative feedback. You know, people love to tell you that you're doing something wrong, that you shouldn't be doing it, that you're foolish, that you're stupid. forget about them. Just forget about them. Remember, this is a challenge for you, to help you. Remember, you are doing this for you, and you are the most important one here. If you find yourself in a situation where people are bad-mouthing you or laughing at you, try and find some people that will support you. The better people you have around you, the better chance you have of succeeding in this. Even if you can't find good people to surround yourself with, use that struggle, use that adversity to help you propel yourself to an even greater level. Use that as a burning desire to prove those wrong. Fear. And your own fear. It could be the number one reason why your challenge would fall apart. Just because you are too afraid to take those steps. The only one who's going to do this challenge is you. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of other people. Don't be afraid of yourself. Believe that you can do it. If you have a problem with confidence, start small. Grow yourself, develop yourself, and once you're ready, you step out into that world and you take it on. So just finishing up, we've talked about the challenge. We've talked about why you should take a challenge, how to begin. We've talked about the research, doing it. We've talked about assessing it at the end. We've talked about the possible pitfalls. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. I really hope that it's inspired you to go and do something about your life and take control of it again and challenge yourself to do something. Take care, everybody. You can always subscribe and follow and watch the other episodes. Goodbye.